How can emotional intelligence help us set and achieve our goals? Today we're going to put emotional intelligence into practice with a tool called Emotion Goals. I'd like to share an activity with you about using emotions, helping you what we call navigate emotions, which is about getting the information and energy from emotions to help you move forward. This activity comes from the Pop-Up Festival Kit in partnership with UNICEF World Children's Day. Pop-Up Festival is the world's largest emotional intelligence project. It's a kit that's available in over 30 languages and used in over 200 countries and territories. And so you can get these resources and the activity instructions by signing up for the free Pop-Up Festival. All the information will be in the show notes below. A lot of the activities in the Pop-Up Festival are adaptations of activities we've done for years with kids or in our corporate programs. What you'll need for this activity is a paper and pen and some emotion cards. And I've got the monster emotions, which are part of the Pop-Up Festival kit. But you can use any emotion cards, or you can make your own. You can clip pictures out of magazines or draw them, however you want to do it. First step in this activity is to think about a goal that you are working on. And so right now I'm thinking about our strategic plan for next year and what our priorities are. And so you just take a piece of paper and kind of in the middle of the paper write down the goal. Okay, once you've written your goal, your next step is to look at your emotion cards and to pick 2 or 3 cards that are feelings you have in relationship to this goal. Now what I've done is I've laid out most of the cards on the table here. I've got a few more in my hand. This particular set of cards has a lot of different cards, so you need a kind of big table or you can just flip through them. So as I flip through these cards, I can actually identify a lot of different feelings that I have, but I'm just going to pick about 3 or 4. And if you find that there's a card that you want to have that you don't have, you can just draw it. So I'm not going to try to draw one of these emotion monsters, but I'm just going to write the card. Okay, the next step is, with each card that you've either selected or drawn, for you to consider how does that feeling give you insight into this challenge or goal. The idea here is there's no negative or positive feelings. That our feelings are kind of like advisors. And what they're there to do is to give us different perspectives. At a neurobiological level, emotions are chemicals. And these chemicals carry information and energy. And so if you just think about emotions in this neutral way, they're data. And they're data to help us understand what we're perceiving. And so each feeling is telling us something different about this goal. It's just to look at your 3 or 4 feelings and each one consider, what is the message for me from this feeling about the goal? And so I'm just going to write down a couple of words that come to mind for me about each of the feelings and how they relate to the goal. Looking on the Pop-Up Festival website, I actually find lots of interesting questions to ask about these goals and these feelings. One of them is, how might this feeling support me in working towards the goal? And how might this feeling be in the way? And part of navigating emotions is figuring out what feelings are going to be allies to me in moving forward in this challenge. And those are feelings that I want to try to strengthen or create more of. Because we always have multiple feelings, and we can emphasize certain ones of these feelings. And so in mine, there's a couple of these feelings that are valuable, and they're giving me useful information. But if I stay in those feelings, it might be problematic for me. Whereas I can see there's one feeling here that's going to be particularly important for me right now as I'm working this process. And so I'm going to lean into that feeling by really asking myself more about that feeling and paying more attention to that feeling to try to emphasize it. And as I emphasize that feeling, what I find is that I'm actually, in this case, I chose curious. And as I emphasize that feeling of curious and really pay attention to it, my curiosity grows, and it helps me actually learn more about what's going on in this particular challenge for me right now. So to recap, the key point in this activity is to help you look at the emotions that are associated with your goal and learn from those different emotions. And then after you've gotten the message from the emotions, you can go to the next step, which is thinking about which emotions are going to help you move towards the goal and emphasizing those to give you more clarity and more energy as you move forward. So that's how we can use emotional intelligence to help us in our goal setting and understanding our emotions to move forward towards what's important to us. If you like this activity and want to learn more, check out our website at 6seconds.org.